who's piloting Junk, and he's fighting against Jeff Rasmussen, who is also playing Rug Delver.
So, Rug Delver, still a contender here.
Yeah, now, Ian Ellis's version of Junk is a little weird. There are no Hymn to Tarox here. He has 4 Dark Confidant, who was actually here this weekend.
Yes, Bob Meyer. We saw him Friday, we saw him yesterday. Didn't see him today.
Oh, okay, and we're underway already. Jeff Rasmussen starts things off with a Misty Rainforest, and let's see what he finds. It is a tropical island, I'm gonna guess. Don't prove me wrong, Jeff. Don't do it. Oh, the anticipation. Oh,
it's a volcanic island.
Yeah, I was wrong.
So it's the Rue in the Rug Delver. It's the No, it doesn't put the that would be ER, I guess. It's the Rue in Rug Delver.
Now, let's see what he has for turn 1. Is he just going to ponder? Does he have the Delver? Looks like he has Thought Scour, some Brainstorms, and a Spell Pierce. Ian Ellis, drawing for his turn. Let's see what he has. His turn 1 plays that he has available to him are Birds of Paradise, Sensei's Divining Top, Max Diamond, and Thoughtseize. Oh, an Inquisition of Kozilek. So he does have a Max Diamond. Going to cast a Birds of Paradise with that Max Diamond.
And Lightning Bolt.
Lightning Bolt comes down. Let's see what he's searching for. Grabs a Forest. Does that in order to dodge Stifle. However, he has seen his opponent's deck list and knows that his opponent's not playing Stifle.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Alright, so looks weird to me too. The colors looks a little odd, at least on our end. I don't know how it is for you guys, but
Alright, and a Mox Diamond. It allows Ian to cast a Thoughtseize. That's gonna get Spell Pierced.
Spell Pierced.
Lost my ability to speak.
And we're out of words.
Ian Ellis draws a Liliana of the Veil. Scrubland. That's going to allow him to cast that if he wants to, if he so desires.
Brainstorm from Jeff Rasmussen.
A Brainstorm. Gonna use the Brainstorm in conjunction with that fetch land to
he draws Daze. I believe he's on Daze Bolt and something else. I think he just put it back. But I could be wrong. It depends on where he put the cards in his hand. Didn't quite catch it. I thought I saw Spell Pierce in there, but I could also be wrong.
All right. And thinking about what else he wants to put back here. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really want to shuffle away many of these. I wouldn't necessarily even crack that Tarn until I drew my next card.
Yeah, I think. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well,
that's exactly what he's done. Yeah. Untaps, draws.
Now you can crack that, yeah. So, he cracks that. Gonna grab himself a Tropical Island.
Hopefully he can get some pressure on the board.
Earlier we were discussing whether or not you should play a Taiga. Some people were asking whether or not you just wanted a basic land. Jeff chose to play a Taiga and a basic island in his Rug Delver deck.
Wow. Only 3 wastelands. That's how he's making some of the room. Only 3 trops. Only 2 volcanic islands.
Alright, and Tarmogoyf comes down for Jeff.
So there's some pressure, and apparently it is a 4/5 Goyf. Thank you, Jeff, for using the dice.
You don't have to do that with your Tarmogoyf. It's sometimes relevant to just not, never misrepresent what your Tarmogoyf is, but at the same time, you don't need to tell your opponent what it is. They can figure it out for themselves. Never just give your opponent free information. All right, Tarmogoyf coming in there for 4. Ian's going to drop to 15 here.
Yeah, in the meantime, Ian tried to resolve a Knight of the Reliquary, but it was dazed. Yeah, it's weird. Like, it looks like it's good for a second, and then it goes back.
Our connection was correct.
Okay, got a slightly bad connection.
And a Ponder from Jeff. Let's see what he finds here on top. Looks like there is a Mongoose, the Nimble variety there that he can cast this turn. It's a Force in hand. Pretty well set up right now.
Yeah, Jeff just wanted some pressure, and he's
There
got
it
it.
is. A Threshold and
More
Nimble Mongoose.
pressure.
It's going to be pretty nice for him. And a Wasteland. Probably just going to take out the red source with this Wasteland. Maybe cast a Liliana, make Jeff sacrifice a guy. No,
Kasali
instead
Pride.
choose to go with the Kasali Pride Mage. Maybe he must not have the Liliana. Or is that a Savannah? Am I misreading that land? It's not a scrub land, it's a Savannah?
I think it's a Savannah.
That explains it. Okay. Yeah, interesting. So fetching up that forest, hurting Ian pretty significantly this game. Jeff now attacking for 7.
Wasteland on the
Waste
duel.
away that Savannah.
Ian draws.
Yeah, unless you can fetch really
Maze of
aggressively
it.
for basics. It's generally better to just grab the duels if you already have duels in your hand that you're going to play as land drops that you need, because they have targets anyway, and you might as well just have your mana work out well.
Interesting how many times we've seen a Wasteland followed by a Maze of Ith this, today.
Yeah,
I feel like
and
so many people.
obviously, if your opponent has like Life from the Loam in their deck or something like that to go with their Wastelands, then you want to just grab the basics almost no matter what.
Yeah.
But, you know, especially when he's playing against a Rug Delver deck that only has 3 Wastelands, and he knows that.
So Ian mazes the Tarmogoyf, but still takes a swing from the Nimble Mongoose down to 5. Jeff untaps. Ian just not really able to do too much. Misty
Yeah.
Rainforest from Jeff. Nimble Mongoose. I like how Goyf kind of had vigilance there. It's like, I'm not going to turn it sideways. I'm attacking with it. I assume you're going to maze it. And it was maze. So Ian down to 2 and can't find an answer to the pressure. Can't
Yeah,
really
Ian Ellis
find any
wearing
win
a
condition of his
Bruce
own.
Lee shirt. Last night I watched Enter the Dragon, or had it on while I was sleeping.
Yeah, absorbed it.
But
Apparently I
yeah.
did too then. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I was there too.
Oh, and we're back.
Oh, that's right. We have trivia.
Yeah, we have some
time.
trivia for you guys.
We're all prepared this
Would you
time.
like to ask the question?
Sure, why not? So, you know what? I'll even type it up as I do it so that Jesse doesn't have to worry about it. So, we're going to give away 3 months of free premium to a random person who correctly answers this question and tweets it in at the SCG Premium.
SCG Premium.
There you
right
go,
here.
Weatherman. SCG Premium right there by JDL's hand. So, we're gonna give you guys softball here.
Pretty easy one.
Yeah.
Should be able to get it.
Yeah, especially if you're into Magic and you're excited about what we've got, what's coming up. You're kind of got your finger on the pulse of Magic. You would know the answer to this. What is the name of the large expansion coming out this fall for Magic?
Not the core set.
No, not the core set that comes
That's
out in the
coming
summer.
in the summer.
Right,
But
there's
in the autumn. Yes.
It has been announced officially, and people are excited about it. And
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and it looks very exciting.
So what is it? Where are we going?
Yeah, what plane are we going to? Yeah, where are we traveling to?
I want to know the name of this set.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tweet I'll tweet it. You got it? Okay. So I wrote it down. So if you want to get
I was paying attention.
you got it. All right, Jesse's got it. He's like, I got this. I got this. I got this. All right. So
On top of it.
So yeah.
Multitasking. Yeah, but I mean, I'm really excited about that new set.
I am too. I
do you
want to.
feel,
We talked about wanting to fast forward to the fall.
Yeah, and it stinks that's the question because that means we can't talk about it right now.
Yeah.
As soon as you mentioned it, I was like, man, let's talk about that. We can't. So looking at these sideboards, Jeff Rasmussen has Ancient Grudges, which he'll probably be bringing in. Submerges, which he'll definitely be bringing in. And are the sulfur elementals good? No, they're not. So 2 Ancient Grudge and 4 Submerge probably coming in for Jeff Rasmussen. Probably taking out his Force of Wills, and I'm not sure what else comes out. You can probably take out some number of days, but that's about it. Maybe you can just cut some Spell Pierces, like trim some. The Spell Pierces are actually pretty good here.
Yeah, we saw one being relevant.
Yeah.
During that game.
Yeah, I think he just cuts 3 Force of Wills, 3 days, and brings in 4 Submerge and 2 Ancient Grudge. Force of Will is like terrible against a deck with discard spells.
Yeah.
Just the absolute worst.
Is that the same Ian? Yeah, I know they gave Ian.
Force of Will is such a strange card, because Force of Will, I feel like it's always the worst card in your deck.
I feel like that too, but you always have it.
You have to play it.
You want to play at least 3, if not 4. You know, like sometimes 2, I guess, but it just seems like. But you know, the cool thing about that is it's always you always have almost always have room to bring in cards, because Force is a card that I tend to want to cut.
Yeah,
you know,
I sideboard out Force of Will like more often than any other.
Yeah, it's almost like, all right, so what can I bring in for Force of Will? You know.
Yeah.
So it's nice. All right, cool. I've got a copy of Ian Ellis' deck list here too. I was just trying to see, because it's hard to read, and I guess it's not even any better. For whatever reason, he may have written his list in pencil, and then when they copied it, or is it just
it comes out a
light?
little rough.
I'm like, Gaia's Cradle Zenith. Oh, Green Sun Zenith. Sorry. You know, Gaia's Cradle is $70.
No.
I just was talking to Wes at the booth. I was like, it was like $30 last summer, or not even last summer. You know, like I feel like, I guess it was last summer now that I think about it, but
no.
30, $35. I knew it was like still a good card, but you know, it's like a $70 card. Guy's Cradle.
I have those.
Yeah, I have those too. I got two
man,
last
I'm going
summer
to
at
sell
30.
them.
I was like, hey, cool. Yeah, nuts.
Yeah, when I was over there before, that's funny, because I was looking in the case and I saw Sarah's Sanctum was like $15. I was like, man, Sarah's Sanctum, really? Oh
Right,
my!
yeah.
Holy waffle tacos! The Guy's Cradle.
Yeah, Sarah Sanctum showing us about $18. Pretty nuts.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy. Now, yeah, but looking at these sideboards, looking at Ian's sideboard, he gets to bring in Thalia, which is awesome in this matchup. Gets to bring in Choke. Gets to bring in Pernicious Deed. Oh, Timely Reinforcements is insane here, huh?
Yeah, I could definitely see
This
him
matchup
doing
gets
that.
really
This
good
is-
for Ian postboard.
He's got a lot. Did you see the Ulvenwald tracker?
Yeah, because
in
of
his
beating.
sideboard?
Yeah, like imagine against Maverick, like they have Mother of Urns, end step, make you tap your Mother of Urns, my turn, kill your Mother of Urns every time you have one. You know, like, I'm a knight deck that makes my knight bigger than your knight deck can make it your knight. Okay, my knight will fight your knight.
So I've got a little bit of backstory from Ian on the Ulvenwald tracker. He said it was an island 15 minutes before the the event, just for fun, because he thought it was funny. He put Ulvenwald tracker in instead. So I don't know that he ever intends to bring it in.
But I mean, it's
But
awesome.
you actually bring up
Yeah.
good points where it could work. I mean, it's funny to me that he put that in the sideboard, but I would love for him to have brought it in.
If he plays against Maverick, he's definitely bringing it in.
Yeah, it's
If he
kinda
doesn't, he's
funny
making a
how that
mistake.
works.
That card's pretty insane. See, his Green Sun Zenith too. It's just like a one-mana guy you can just grab with Green Sun Zenith that can just dominate a game. Ian Ellis starts things off with the Birds of Paradise.
Into an Ulvenwald tracker. Just kidding. You know, when I first started playing, we didn't realize that. We thought the mana abilities, we knew you couldn't attack right away, but we thought, like, we were brewing, like, birds, elves. We could turn one ridiculous number of
Combo
mana
out.
creatures. All right, Delver of Secrets for Jeff. Yeah, we all had the crazy, like, mana acceleration decks because we thought that they all worked that way.
So Delver Secrets for Jeff, and that is a scrubland.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And
So-
the color has been corrected. Thank you, Jesse.
I'll try my best.
And we've got a Swords to Plowshares, Delvers to Life Gain. That's about it. Yeah. Pretty nice
Now,
answer. And Birds.
2 mana from Birds, and ooh, Confidant.
There
That's
he
a
is.
pretty good start.
Bob
on
Maher
turn-
himself.
Nope.
Gets
But a Daze is going to deal with
dazed.
that.
No. And Misty Rainforest from Jeff. Looks like it was, oh no, it was just put, I thought he cracked it. Looked like he was about to anyway. So, passes back. Ian untaps. Plays a Marsh Flats. Pays 2. Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf is just a, what, a 2/3? I think it's just instant land in there.
Well, no, Confidant.
Oh, that's right. Oh no, where's the Confidant?
Got countered by Daze.
Yeah, I know, but I guess it's just hidden.
Yeah, it's
That's what
underneath
it
that
is.
sort, underneath the Legacy Quarterfinals
Okay.
commentator's box.
That's why I wasn't counting creature.
Jeff cracks that fetch line, and Ian's going to respond by cracking his own fetch line.
Loading screen.
Again, Ian doing his best to play around Stifle, despite his opponent not having Stifle in his deck list. And he has seen his opponent's deck list. He must have misread something. He must think his opponent is Stifle, because he's been playing around Stifle this whole game.
Yeah,
like
that's
in game 1
interesting.
too, he played around
Yeah.
Stifle really hard.
Yeah, he must be thinking, he must have looked at it and then just forgot, and so he can't remember. He's kind of like, did he have Stifle? Well, I guess I'll just play around it just in case.
And I mean, he's allowed to look at his opponent's deck during sideboarding too.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't, or he at least wasn't looking for Stifle, wasn't thinking about that. Thought he already had it in his head, but... And Jeff with just land go. Not really how Rug Delver wants to operate, but...
It looks like he sided in Sulfur Elemental. Not great against Ian's deck. All it
It's
does
just a
is make
flash
his
blocker,
Stoneforge
right? Yeah.
Elemental into, or
2/1?
Stoneforge Mystic into like a very reasonable 2/1 for 2 as opposed to,
Yeah. So Submerge on the Tarmogoyf.
it's pretty good.
Man, if Jeff had that Submerge when Ian cracked his fetch, would have been a great time to play it. Shuffle that Goyf away.
Yeah, there are multiple
Ian's gonna
schools of thought with the Submerge.
Ian's gonna shuffle it away anyway.
Using Submerge in response to your opponent's fetch land or like a night activation, it's really good because it actually gets rid of it instead of putting it on top.
Right.
But a lot of the time, if I'm winning, I would rather wait till they're done shuffling and then do it. Because if you're winning,
Right,
you
you
just
know
want
what
to
their draw
continue
step
winning.
is. Yeah, you're good there. I get it. I mean, that makes sense. In this case, though, I think shuffling it away
Yeah, it
probably
would
better.
definitely be better. You're right. So Wasteland from Ian.
And Batter Skull.
Yeah, and a Spell Pierce.
Spell Pierce is just going to make that Batter Skull into
Yes.
Tarmogoyf Pump.
Let's see, is Ian going to use this Wasteland? Pretty nice, actually. Ian doesn't realize that that Spell Snare or that Spell Pierce actually worked out for him pretty well. Jeff has an Ancient Grudge in hand, so
So he's all set.
yeah, like the Batter Skull resolved. He'd
He'd been fine anyway.
yeah. Umazawa's Jitte coming down for Ian. Going to put that in his hand. He can cast it as an uncounterable spell using Stoneforge Mystic's ability.
Violet-in.
Yes.
And there's a Taiga from Jeff. As we
All
mentioned,
three dual land types.
yeah, we mentioned he has a Taiga and he also has a basic island, just in case.
All right, and a Sulfur Elemental.
Wasteland your Tiger.
Wasteland's the Taiga.
That's a weird time to play Sulfur Elemental.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 1-2. I'm gonna make it better.
I want to make a trade with my Sulfur Elemental.
It just seems odd. Like, it's one thing if Stoneforge was a 1-1, I understand. It's not, though. It's a 1-2, so now it's a 2-1. I thought, Sulfur Elemental's more for Maverick and even Lingering Souls. It's incredible there. Against a Stoneforge Mystic, it's not
and
that
even against
great.
Maverick, it's just okay.
Right, but I mean, he takes out the Mother of Runes. That's the whole
which
thing.
is pretty good.
That's awesome against Maverick.
Yeah.
That's like
Against
the
Lingering
number
Souls,
one.
it's obviously just
Right.
insane.
Right, but I mean, even killing a Mother of Runes and preventing any more Mother of Runes, and while it's on the table, like that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But to make a Stoneforge Mystic into a 2-1 doesn't seem that great. What irrelevant for now anyway. Lightning Bolt on the Stoneforge Mystic, it would have died whether it was a 1-2 or 2-1. Sulfur Elemental gets in, and now Ian has a Maze of Ith. Taps 2, plays Umezawa's Jite. Can't Violet in, so this can be countered. Jeff appears to have let it resolve, and now Birds picks it up.
Yeah, now, kind of interesting because Birds can't put any counters on that shit.
No Exalted triggers here like we saw.
But, I mean, hypothetically, if Ian does draw, like, Slide Pride Mage, it'll be better for that Jit to be on the bird than to not be on the bird. So
right.
it's definitely worth it to put it on there if you don't have some other good action for your opponent's turn. Ancient Grudge, dealing with that Umezawa's Jite.
That is the Innistrad Ancient Grudge. And Sulfur Elemental gets Maze of Ith. Ian now 1 mana for a Sensei's Divining Top.
Yeah. It's time to use that Divining Rod and see
He's
what we can
gonna
find.
make him flip the top here, I guess. Back end of Ancient Grudge, targeting the top, and the front end of a second Ancient Grudge now targeting top in response. So Ian now responds by using the top, checking out the top 3.
Now, interestingly enough, when he puts this top back on top, then another top activation is going to resolve. Yeah, so now Ian gets to look at the top 3 again.
And he sees cards that I'm sure he's completely surprised to see.
Yeah.
I didn't look at him the first time. Kept my eyes closed.
I mean, Ian just picked up a lot of free cardage there.
Yeah, I mean, it was
At least one full free card off the
yeah,
top.
it was really just the back end of an Ancient Grudge and the front end of another one. So he got like one full Ancient Grudge out of it. Jeff does still have an available Ancient Grudge in the graveyard to flashback. Now Ian plays Knight of the Reliquary. Jeff responds with a Brainstorm. Knight of the Reliquary, a base 1/1 due to the Sulfur Elemental. I'm sorry, not a 1/1, a
3/1.
3/1, yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, what's the number plus? Yeah.
Maze of Ith, pretty cool interaction with Neither Reliquary.
Yeah, where you can attack and then maze your own knight so that you can
Start activating it.
activate it, yeah.
And I mean, it's also just turns something into an awesome blocker, just in general, like your knight. Or even better than attacking with it, you can just activate it and then untap it.
Well, you can't untap it with the maze unless it's an attacking creature.
Are you sure it's not just played only during combat step?
I'm talking about Maze of Ith, right?
Yeah. Is it?
Target attacking creature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tarmogoyf and Delver of Secrets added to Jeff's army. Goyf is a 4/5. How big is that knight?
Ooh, a choke. That's going to be pretty good here.
Wow, Jeff is tapped out. If that choke is resolving, he's going to stay tapped out. He's not entirely tapped out, but all of his islands currently in play are tapped, and choke has resolved. Ian now plays Sensei's Divining Top, and looks to be in a pretty good position here.
Jeff probably going to crack this and try to find a tiger.
4 lands in the graveyard, which makes the knight a 7/5.
Wow.
Still a pretty big knight. Actually getting a little boost from the Sulfur Elemental. Would be a 6/6, instead it's a 7/5 due to the Sulfur Elemental. Very strange that Jeff brought those in. I feel like it's hurting him more than helping him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering what he took out for them. Because he definitely brought in the Ancient Grudge and the Submerge just like I thought he would, but he also brought in the Sulfur Elementals.
And
Delver of Secrets.
Delver of Secrets. So Jeff content to stay tapped out as long as he has an army. And his army is fairly threatening. He's got the 4/5 Goyf. He's got the Sulfur Elemental, and he's got 2 Delvers that can really be threatening if they flip.
Yeah, the moment those flip,
it's really scary.
It puts Ian on a really, really fast clock. Ian pays 1 at his birds. Cracks that fetch line, doesn't like what he sees on top with that top. Alright, thinking about his options. Grabs a Bayou.
Yeah, that Goyf is not a 4/5, it should be a 5/6. Because didn't he? I mean, check on that Goyf. Are you checking on that Goyf?
Yeah, is
I thought there was a creature in there, and if there's a creature in there, there's definitely a Batterskull in there. There's an instance, and are there? Wait a minute. Are there sorceries? Maybe sorceries what's missing.
Yeah, I don't think there are sorceries.
Maybe that's what's missing. I was thinking they thought creature was missing.
Alright, Ian, activating this knight again. Can you go ahead and sacrifice Bayou?
It's, we can't see their graveyards very well. Twitter mentioned maybe the Goyf having 5 power. I thought that may be a possibility, but I'm not seeing sorcery. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bob died in this game, right? That was
Creature, instant, land, artifact.
okay. No sorcery. That's what it is. Creature, instant, land, and artifact.
That seems to make sense.
Okay, it's sorcery that's missing. Thanks, Sammy B. Screwing everything up. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for having us all clarify. So
Another
now,
knight for Ian.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the big problems with the rug deck is it's pretty hard to beat a knight.
Submerge.
But if you're gonna do it,
off
that's
the
how
top.
you do it.
Submerge off the top by Jeff. Yeah, he's going to be able to beat the knight. He's going to flip his Delvers here. And
Drops Ian down to 10 now.
yeah, 1 gets mazed. He attacks with both Delvers. 1 gets mazed. And
Sensei top getting replayed. And pay some mana and activate it. See what goods are on the top of his library.
Knight getting submerged, or getting potentially submerged. Oh, Ian's showing him. I don't have a forest.
I don't have a forest in play. What are you talking about,
Ian,
man?
submerge anything.
When are you doing this?
I love it. He got rid of his Bayou so that Submerge was no longer live.
He knew his opponent had the Submerge.
Yeah.
Well played by Ian.
That was absolutely awesome. Yeah, I love that. Okay, maybe it wasn't absolutely awesome, but it was cool. I liked it. I'm glad he played that way. It's tight.
It was tight.
All right, passes back to Jeff.
All right. Jeff crashing in again with both these Delvers.
Looks like Mazes won, and he looks like he thought about blocking with birds. Still considering. No, he takes it. Okay, goes to 7. Wants the birds for the mana, especially now that he doesn't have a forest. I think realizes maybe he actually needs the mana, needs the green. Has no access to green otherwise. And
Stoneforge Mystic. I don't believe you have anything left in your deck, Mr.
no,
Ian.
he's just gonna shuffle.
I like that, shuffling your deck. Especially strong to shuffle your deck when you have Sensei top in play.
Yeah, getting a fresh 3 cards on top.
Crashing in with both of these knights. They are big.
And Jeff forced a chump block with the Tarmogoyf and the Delver of Secrets, and Jeff now basically he's got a 1 creature army, and it is getting caught in a maze every time it attacks.
Yeah, and not only that, but he's being choked as we speak.
Yeah, he can't even. This is just really, really rough for Jeff. I think if Jeff pulls this out, I will be shocked. No, they're already scooping it up.
Yes. He the only thing he's pulling out of is the game.
Yeah. So, Ian Ellis evens it up. 1-1 here in the quarterfinals of the Star City Games Open Series Madison versus Jeff Rasmussen. Jeff on Rug Delver, Ian on Junk, and I think Rug Delver has been kind of a mainstay over the past few months.
Yeah, and Junk, it's something that we used to see all the time in this Legacy format that kind of has, waned a little bit in popularity. Finally, now we're seeing it again. It's good to see somebody doing well with it.
Yeah.
But this Junk list that Ian's playing is very different than the ones we're used to seeing. Normally, you'd see a card like Hymn to Turok. You'd see, all the things you'd expect to see. 4 Swords to Plowshares, which Ian has. And then Ian's discard suite is just 3 Thoughtseize and an Inquisition, as opposed to something like 3 Thoughtseizes, like 1 Inquisition for him, right? All of that.
Yeah, when I think of Junk, I usually think of what Kibler tends to run in Legacy, and he's always, heavy on the Elspeth plan. Knights of the Reliquary and Elspeth, I think that Kibler just starts off with those and then goes from there.
Yeah, he usually has 1 Elspeth in his Legacy decks, and then all the Knights, all of them. And then Green Sun Zeniths, all his favorite cards.
Basically. I mean, that's the best thing about Legacy, right?
Yeah, you just play all my favorite cards. And it's good. As long as your favorite cards are good.
And it's
your deck will probably be pretty good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's like Gerard, he always plays
Team
Hymn to Turok.
Yeah.
It's just his favorite card. He thinks Hymn to Turok's the best card. And he's not that far from the truth. I mean, Hymn to Turok is an extraordinarily powerful spell.
Yep. Hymn, I win. It's not a phrase, for nothing.
Yeah, sometimes you draw 2 hymns.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
So, I looked at some of the answers when we got to our trivia question.
Seems a lot of you guys know what you're talking about.
There are some people who know the answer.
That's very true.
What was the question again?
What set?
Yeah, easy.
Really? That long ago? Good Lord.
I thought Jesse was joking.
I'd forgotten.
Everybody's starting to close up shop here.
Yep, hall emptying out.
Yeah. It's been a pretty cool weekend. Really pretty exciting. Picked up some cards from my standard deck.
Yeah, so you got some Tamios, you have some Entreat the Angels.
I did.
Very nice.
Got some Terminuses.
Ooh, Terminasus.
I got some Terminis. Terminasus. I like it.
Termini.
Snuffleupagus.
Ooh, Snuffleupagus. He's the best.
He is.
He is
He's
a
Big Bird's
woolly
best
mammoth.
friend. Yeah.
I believe he's an imaginary woolly mammoth.
Yes, I mean, if he were a magic card, he would cost 1 GG and be a 3/3.
I like it. I like it. Creature beast.
Would he be, or would he just be an
Yeah.
Uffalump?
Uffalump. I like Uffalump. He's
He'd be
a
an
legendary Uffalump.
Legendary Uffalump.
So I got.
Yes.
So Sammy's asking what my standard deck is. I don't know exactly what the deck is, but it starts with at least. I mean, at least I have.
We got
the
miracles.
root
Yeah.
is Tameo, Entreat the Angels, Terminus. I'm basically. We talked a little bit about it.
Yeah,
on-
he wants to play the
I
deck
wanna-
that won in block.
Right,
That
I
won the block
think-
Pro Tour, but then, like, I mean, you
But a
just add-
standard version, or
Yeah, you play Ponder.
right.
Obviously, that would make the deck much better. Instead of playing Thought Scour, you can play Visions of Beyond.
Yes.
We discussed, yeah.
Yes. So I think the way I'm looking at it, and this is something before the Pro Tour, I was thinking I want to build blue-white control, so I think what it is, I'm trying to build blue-white control. I love the deck that won the Pro Tour. A lot of that can overlap. I was very likely going to be playing Tameo and Terminus in the deck anyway. So maybe I lean it heavier Miracle. Maybe I just lean it heavier on the blue-white control and just sometimes draw and treat the Angels and win.
Yeah, I mean, if
but
you're going to
really-
go all in on the Miracle version and not going to play any guys in your main deck, I strongly recommend having Merfolk Looters in your sideboard. So your opponents will side out their removal, you side in Merfolk Looters, and then you get a draw step on everybody's turn.
That sounds good.
And that's twice as many chances to hit a miraculous
Miraculous win.
off the top of your deck.
It may not work in standard with such so much aggression, but I'm gonna try it. That's what I'm trying. I really want to play Tameo. I want to play I want to play control. I want to try it. It's not necessarily something that I would
I think you can buy a lot of time with
scratch out.
Feeling of Dreads and
Yeah.
all that stuff. You can top deck a
Um,
Terminus.
Also, what's the blue one? The upheaval.
Devastation Tide.
That's it. Devastation Tide. That's another one that seems pretty good. I mean, it doesn't work well if I've got Tameo in play, but if I'm in that sort of pickle where Tameo's locking one creature down and that's not enough, I'm gonna need to use Devastation Tide, then I guess that's what I gotta do,
Yeah, I once experienced a real life Devastation Tide.
Really?
Yeah, I was swimming with my dog in the ocean, and we were just like having fun swimming. I was throwing a ball, and then all of a sudden I looked toward the shore and realized we were like hardly see we were like by the buoys and stuff.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, oh, this is probably not good. Way out in the ocean. Sometimes you get caught in a current.
You
don't
don't even
realize.
notice, yeah. The other thing about Devastation Tide is its permanence, right? You put the permanence back in your hand, so it's kind of it's a very upheaval non-land permanence.
Yeah, non-land permanence.
You're facing down Planeswalkers. That's a nice
Yeah,
nice
or a
answer
nice
to
little
that.
reset. All right, Jeff leads things off with an island and a turn 1 Delver of Secrets. That's definitely what he wants in a matchup like this. I mean, he'd prefer a duel, but he'll take it. Ian looks like he has a Swords to Plowshares in hand. Gonna crack that fetch land and then
Inquisition. So
Ooh, an
he's
Inquisition.
gonna leave the Delver there for now. Swords works just as well on the 3/2 Delver, although maybe
yeah, and,
Maybe not.
I mean, he could just nab this Goyf.
yeah, I
out of
like
Jeff's
that.
hand.
I like that.
I like that a lot. He's gonna have room to play around that spell snare, especially because Jeff's hand has a 3-drop in it. That's definitely gonna hinder his mana a bit. He's a Rug Delver deck. He has less than 20 lands, I'm presuming. Let me count.
Another thing,
Only
Devastation
18,
Tide.
so-
Devastation Tide is very good against tokens.
Yes. Kills them dead.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see what Ian. Let's see what Jeff manages to put together with this Ponder. Probably going to have a land for turn 2. I'm assuming he's probably going to wasteland away that Bayou. I guess he could just play a Trop and cast Nimble Mongoose.
That'd be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to just make sure there's pressure. Yeah, and that's exactly what he does. So
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
got
Ian's
two
stuck,
1/1s for 1 that tend to grow. Ian now trying to make sure he can deal with these guys that are gonna be some trouble. So Swords of Plowshares on the Delver from Ian, very good way to deal with it.
Yeah, only has to let Jeff gain 1 life.
And Sensei's Divining Top will help Ian dig for some answers to the Nimble Mongoose, or
Man,
more
I'm
likely,
so greedy
some
when I
threats.
watch games of Legacy. I'm always thinking about how much greedier I'd be being. Ian has Deed in his hand, Pernicious Deed, and I would have been greedy. I would
You
have
just
swords
waited
the
around?
Delver. Yeah.
Waited and saved the swords for later until you could deed. Sammy B points out there are now sorceries in the graveyard. Thank you, Sammy.
Yes. Yes, there are. It's true. There are multiple sorceries in the graveyard now.
And there's a Tarmogoyf.
4/5.
Yeah, no artifacts.
Sorcery
besides
instant
that.
land creature.
Ian plays a Horizon Canopy. That's going to deal a little bit of damage to him.
A Pernicious Deed,
But
Jeff.
he has a Pernicious Deed.
What does this card do? It's got the old border.
A very good card.
It's got the gold border.
From Apocalypse.
Yep.
Pernicious Deed is an enchantment for one green, 1 black. So 3 mana total. X, sacrifice Pernicious Deed, or X, sacrifice Pernicious Deed, destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with converted mana cost X or less.
Yeah. So,
Does not kill planeswalkers.
Goyf and Mongoose into the red zone. That's for 5 damage. Wasteland on the Bayou. So
Yeah,
Ian now able to
dishing out
wipe
tons of damage.
Jeff's side of the board if he wants, and I think that's what he just has to do here. Yeah.
Yeah, pay some life.
And in response, looks like he's gonna.
Yeah, I
flip
mean,
the top.
he held
Yeah.
priority for long enough. Like,
Yeah,
before he moved the Pernicious Deed to the graveyard, he
Exactly.
did that, so that's fine.
And plays a Windswept Heath, passes back to Jeff. And we're clean slate here.
Yeah, I mean, Ian at a pretty low life total, but it's not really that big of a deal here. Now he's going to start getting to cast his Knights. Maybe get a Batter Skull in there, you know, all the fun stuff.
Gets a Bayou here.
Grabbing a Bayou. You know what the best part about the Bayou is? Jambalaya.
Yeah, I've been to New Orleans and had some jambalaya down there. And alligator tail. It was good.
Ooh, I've never had alligator tail.
It was very,
Sounds
it was very
delicious.
calamari-ish to me. Like, it was chewy. It was fried, so that's probably what made it seem like calamari. It all tastes the same when it's fried. Dryad Arbor.
Yeah, taking another
Ian.
ping from that Horizon Canopy. Gonna Green Sun Zenith for 2, and Spell Pierce is gonna deal with that. Now Jeff left with just a Sulfur Elemental and a Spell Snare in hand.
Can't cast a Sulfur Elemental.
Yeah. And wouldn't even be that good if he could.
No, I mean, it would just be a beater, actually, right now. So,
Dryad
speaking
Arbor,
of which, Dryad
starting
Arbor
to
is
get in
going
there.
to knock Jeff back to his starting life total.
Yeah, such a feisty tree.
Yeah.
All right, Marsh Flat's coming down for Ian Ellis. Gonna crack that, and let's see what he'll grab. Taking a lot of damage from his lands here. Horizon Canopy tends to do that. And
Yeah,
when playing against a deck like Rug, you know, they do have bolts. They can finish the game quick.
I think if I'm Ian, I might go ahead and sack that canopy, get a card off it, and stop taking all this
Stop
damage.
taking all that
'cause he's-
damage.
He's already taken quite a bit.
No,
Liliana
of the Veil.
from
Now he
Ian.
can force each player to discard a card.
Interesting.
Discards Maelstrom Pulse.
The letters in Ian's name almost spell Liliana.
Ooh, I never even noticed that. Fun fact.
Ian Ellis of the Veil.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah, I was in Quick Check buying a roast beef sandwich at like 2 a.m. the other night, and the woman working behind the counter's name was Liliana. And I was like, Liliana, nice. And she was just like, looked at me all weird. Like,
What does that mean?
Anyway.
So
He's
Liliana
gonna sacrifice
plus
that
one.
Horizon Canopy
Yeah.
draw a card.
Liliana pluses and Jeff discards a land. I didn't see what Ian discarded, but there's a Sensei's Divining Top and a Caracas from Ian. And a Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf gets Spell Snare. Liliana +1. Ian with nothing in hand.
Yep, now he's down to just one card.
Jeff
And
has
Miss
to
Liliana's-
discard that Sulfur Elemental. What a tragedy. I'm surprised that's not the first thing he discarded.
Yeah, now Wasteland from Ian. Now when he factor fictions Jeff's permanents, he can leave Jeff with an actual 0 permanents if he wants to.
And a Scavenging Ooze has the pressure.
Yeah,
from Ian.
Scavenging Ooze.
And that's
As we like to say, that is, what is it? It's a big game.
it's a big game. Ooze the beatdown. And
Going to go ahead and remove Tarmogoyf from the game, gain himself a life, start recouping the losses from that Horizon Canopy earlier. Now it's a 3/3,
yeah,
and
I think Ooze is actually, I mean, in so many cases, better than Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf's just a beater, right?
yeah, I mean, Ooze
Ooze
has taken the place of Tarmogoyf. in
Gains
many
life.
decks.
I know, and it gains life. It's a beater just like Tarmogoyf. It takes a little more effort to grow it, but gains life, removes cards from the graveyard that that are going to be flashed back with Snapcasters and things like that. So Inquisition from Ian takes a Nimble Mongoose, leaving Jeff with a Lone Force of Will, which is discarded to Liliana.
Liliana now at 7 counters.
Ian
Next
now
turn it can ultimate and still
firm
be
control
around.
of this game, and Jeff can't even find a red mana source. If you just a floating red mana somewhere, you can find. Got it.
Yeah. All right, Jeff drawing another card, and you go ahead and remove that Nimble Mongoose now.
It should be very close to it.
Going up to 10. Sees that Wasteland again. This time he should keep the Wasteland on top. And yes, he does.
So untaps, draws a Wasteland, plays the Wasteland.
Oh, don't use it before you ultimate Liliana.
yeah,
Oh, he's
that
not
would-
even going to bother ultimating
Oh,
Liliana.
he's just okay. That makes
Like,
sense.
man,
Makes
but
him
isn't it
discard.
the most fun to have your opponent have no permanents in play?
It seems pretty fun.
That's the most fun. He could have had no permanents on the other side of the table. He just missed out on so much fun.
Well, look though, he's doing a good job though, because I think
Yeah, I mean, he's
the other
clearly
thing
winning.
is he's keeping Jeff's hand empty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jeff can only cast.
But I mean, Jeff
instants.
would have 1 card and no permanents in play. That's kind of good.
I said he can only cast.
I mean, it
instants.
doesn't
That make sense.
Obviously, it doesn't. It
He
doesn't
can
matter
cast-
how he does it. At this point,
he has to cast whatever he draws immediately. So,
yeah.
but meanwhile, he's getting beat down by a giant ooze. Like I said, ooze the beatdown,
Yes. Who's
Ooze.
laughing now?
comma the beatdown.
Whose line is it anyway? Whose turn is it anyway?
It is.
So there's a ponder being
Jeff
played by
able to-
Jeff right now.
Able to ponder, yeah. Get,
And,
a, card, get a brainstorm.
Get a brainstorm. Now this isn't really going to work out too well because I guess it will.
There
Yeah.
it is.
There
And
you go.
Ian Ellis. Wow. Ian Ellis of the Veil takes down Jeff Rasmussen.
Yeah, man. Hey,
with,
Ian.